Hello, Marriott Associates. It's hard to believe a month has passed since our last video. If we were together in person, I would start with a simple but most important question. How are you doing? Are you well? Is your family well? How are you holding up during this extraordinarily complicated time? Let me instead share with you something of what I and others in the Marriott leadership team feel. Every day presents a full range of emotions. We have been given an unprecedented battle to fight, and most days it is simply about rolling up our sleeves to fight that battle. It is all-consuming and leaves little time for reflection. And yet, in the quiet hours of the night, or the occasional silent pauses that provide a minute of reflection in the late afternoon, there is optimism, driven by the knowledge that we will eventually win this battle, and the war will end. There is also sadness, as I think about the uncertainty that has displaced the regular and comforting rhythms that we were used to, by the lives that have been turned upside down by this crisis, by our associates and their family members who have paid the ultimate price in this pandemic. In the month since our last video, we have seen the impact of COVID-19 on our business stabilize, but stabilize at very low levels. Our hotel business is down roughly 90% across the globe, including in Europe and the United States. Roughly 2,000 of our 7,300 hotels have closed due to a lack of business, and there are far too many Marriott associates who are out of work. As I look back on some of the communications we shared in March, they seem to me now to have had an expectation that this would be a condensed crisis, and that after 2 or 3 months, we would be in a position to collectively flip a switch to get our economy, our communities, and our lives back to normal around the globe. But it's increasingly clear that this will not be the case. The world is still very much wrestling with this pandemic. This is going to be a longer crisis with a slower economic recovery than any of us would have wanted. Together, we are going to have to find the patience and the fortitude to plan for a recovery that builds over time. The most crucial policy discussion occurring around the world today is about the steps that should be taken to reopen economic and community activity. Any steps taken will increase the risk that COVID-19 will spread. At the same time, we all know that we cannot stay at home forever. We also know that we cannot build confidence in walking without taking those first steps. If those first steps go well, we keep walking. If not, we pause, maybe even stumble, and then we look for an opportunity to try again. We have been using our voice at Marriott to influence this policy discussion. We do not believe that means a return to global travel tomorrow, but we do believe it means taking smart steps, influenced by healthcare experts and data, to encourage the process of recovery. The experts are right that we should be focused on information about the spread of the virus, healthcare capacity, testing availability, and tools for tracking the spread of the virus, including contact tracing and the like. We can only build confidence by preparing and, when the conditions are right, trying. While this important discussion continues outside Marriott, we are also hard at work on 3 things inside Marriott. Making sure we do what we can to help our people, our hotel owners, and Marriott itself survive the crisis for as long as it lasts. Using our hotels to assist in the global battle against COVID-19. And preparing for the way our business should reopen. And in particular, how we will take care of our guests given the new reality that will exist at the other end of this crisis. In the first area, our associates, our owners, and the company, we have focused on creating resources to help identify temporary job opportunities for our associates and maintaining health insurance coverage for as many as possible, while also, for example, advocating for unemployment insurance in the U.S. or other government tools in support of our people. This has been essential because our hotel owners have also seen their income disappear, and they have had to work to find the means to pay their debts and preserve their hotels for reopening. And of course, Marriott has debt that must be repaid, including debt due in late 2020 and early 2021, requiring the company to raise additional resources to ensure it has the capacity to weather this crisis all the way through. We don't rest easy that these decisions have been made perfectly, nor that the consequences of these decisions are ideal. While there are far too many uncertainties about the course of this crisis, we do know for certain that there are far too many people for whom the challenges in the coming months are more significant than is fair. Second, we have been focusing on how we can use our hotels to assist with the global healthcare battle. Our Rooms for Responders program is focused on helping healthcare workers who are on the front line in the war against COVID-19. With support from our credit card partners, American Express and JP Chase, we are providing free hotel stays for healthcare professionals in some of the most impacted areas like New York City, Los Angeles, Detroit, and Washington, D.C., among other cities. Beyond the Rooms for Responders initiative, we also wanted to find a way to be more helpful to healthcare workers in more places. So we have joined with a number of our hotel owners and franchisees to launch the Community Caregiver Program. This initiative provides significantly discounted rates for first responders and healthcare professionals who want to book rooms at hotels in close proximity to the hospitals where they're working. Around the world, our hotels and our people have stepped up in countless other ways during this crisis, just like they have done for years. Our hotels have worked with local governments to assist in adding frontline personnel, donated food and supplies to community organizations, and worked with the Red Cross to provide locations for blood drives. Thank you to all of you who have been so enthusiastically engaged in these efforts to help the communities where we work deal with the challenges they face. We have also been preparing for the new world that will emerge on the other side of this crisis. This includes developing marketing strategies and materials to reach guests eager to travel, and phasing in work that was underway across the company before the crisis hit. There are also changes that need to be implemented from a health and safety perspective when the world starts traveling again. We are hard at work to make sure our associates and guests are kept safe and healthy when they walk through our doors. This week, we announced a multi-pronged platform to elevate even further the global cleanliness standards and hospitality norms at our hotels. We have created a new advisory board, the Marriott Global Cleanliness Council, which includes in-house and outside experts in hospitality, epidemiology, sanitation, and protective technology. We also announced that we'll be rolling out some enhanced technologies, including an electrostatic sprayer. This device, which is used with hospital-grade disinfectant, can sanitize a hotel room in a matter of minutes and can also be used in public spaces like our lobbies, fitness centers, and meeting spaces. One of the things that touched me so much after our last video was the number of Marriott associates I heard from who were optimistic about the future and encouraging even in the face of the impact of this crisis on them. That optimism will get harder to hold on to the longer this crisis lasts, but we cannot let it fade. There is every reason to have hope and to have confidence that we will reemerge. I think often these days of the Battle of Britain in World War II. For most of 1940 and 1941, the residents of London suffered through nightly bombings. They were nearly helpless to defend themselves. Each morning, they surveyed the human and physical damage, and life went on. Their Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, had no magic answers. He knew, as they knew, that it was a battle they had to fight. Fight it, they did. And fight this, we will. All of us, Marriott associates around the world, our families and our loved ones, and the communities where we make our lives. I am grateful to be in this battle with the incredible people who make up this company. From our executive chairman, Bill Marriott, who at 88 years old still checks in with me every day, to those who are working tirelessly to keep the company focused and running during this time of crisis, to the associates who have been furloughed and are continuing to root for their company, their hotels, and their teammates. From the bottom of my heart, thank you.